Okay, so hello everyone. Glad to have you all here for another BDPA Tech and Career Talk. We're excited to have Nick Turner with us, founder and CEO of DeliverEnd. So looking forward to hearing from him here shortly. Wanted to remind everyone that we will have Q&A later on in the call. If you have any questions before then, feel free to put them in the chat window if you're using the app. Once we get to the Q&A portion, I will unmute all of the lines so you all can ask your questions directly if you're having trouble unmuting yourself. So just a quick overview for BDPA for those who may not be familiar. BDPA has been around since 1975, focuses on being a forum for IT professionals to network and develop to continue to thrive in the IT industry, but also serves as a way to teach youth computer programming skills to prepare the talent pipeline for the IT industry as well. So over 40 years being in this space and continuing to be a driving force in the IT field. So glad to be a part of this. I'll go into a brief intro of Nick, and while I do that, let me go ahead and make you the presenter, Nick, so you can get everything together. Let's see here. Okay, that request should be coming over now. And I'll give a brief intro of Nick. Nick is the founder and CEO at DeliverEnd, a company that is focused on making marketplace platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and other similar platforms safe and more convenient for the users through secure delivery. DeliverEnd was nominated in 2018 by the Indy Star for the best tech company in Indianapolis, and they finished second place by public vote. DeliverEnd also solves the last mile problem that has stricken businesses for many years now. Nick's grit, willingness, and ability to submerge himself into solving big problems with his execution skills gained over the course of his entrepreneurial journey has brought him to where he is today. Got to talk to Nick a little bit about his company and a little bit of his journey a little while ago, and it's definitely an interesting one, intriguing one, and exciting one, and it's inspirational. So looking forward to hearing from you today, Nick, and I know everyone else will enjoy you as well. So without further ado, I will turn the floor over to Nick. And Nick, were you able to become presenter? It says you declined.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
I accepted it, but it like put me into a different portal. Can you resend it, please?
Yep. All right, stop doing that. Let the attendee has declined to become presenter. Let's try this again. Yeah, keep saying you've declined.
Sure. I think it's when you send it, it says like go to settings and okay.
Yeah, you probably have to do the little like a download thing or something like that.
I already have it downloaded, but it's saying that I have to like hang up and then reopen it so that it can like record. It should be fine. Okay.
Came through that time?
Oh, yep, I got it. Okay.
There we go. It's coming up. Yep, see your screen now.
You can see it?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I can just jump right into it if that's okay. Can you still see me?
I can't, but it's probably because I'm on my phone and my view is kind of weird.
Okay.
But I can hear you.
Okay. So, yeah, like with DeliverEnd, like we make marketplace platforms like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, LetGo, safe and more convenient for the buyers and sellers because whenever you buy or sell on Facebook Marketplace.
Hey, Nick. Yeah, user was saying you sound very low. Is there a way to turn your volume up or get closer to a microphone?
Can you hear me better now, actually?
Let's see. I hear you, but others are saying that they can't hear you. It still sounds low.
Okay. I'll plug in my headphones.
Okay.
Is that better?
Let's
Hello?
see. Just watching the chat to see the feedback. Can you all hear Nick better now? Teresa says a bit better. Okay. All right, let's go forward now. I'll let you know if people are still having issues.
Okay. So with every single transaction, there's a problem. Like the basic buyers and sellers always run into a problem, and that's just the dangers affiliated with the marketplace, because with every single transaction, you don't know like who you're selling to or who you're buying from. You have to still exchange the money in person. You don't know if they actually have the item. Then you have to figure out all these different challenges when it comes to transporting the item. Like if it's a bigger item like a refrigerator or a couch, you have to, if you don't have a truck, you have to ask other people, you have to go rent a truck, and we're making sure that it goes a lot more seamless. And like with that, there's been so many different press releases around marketplace transactions going wrong, and we're here to solve that. So like our solution is just replacing that in-person meetup with an in-app live video chat, so you can further inspect the item, you can ask more questions in live time, and you can just further negotiate the item price. Because with the pictures that you see on the Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, it doesn't do like the overall justice for it. And you can pay for the item within our app, and the funds are held in temporary escrow and until the completion of the delivery. And then we have drivers similar to Uber and Lyft pick up the item and deliver it right to you. And like our product, we've made sure like since 2017, we released our app this year on January 27th. And since 2017, we just collected a lot of data around our product to make sure that we can deliver a solid, scalable, consumer-friendly product. And let's see that. So, like I mentioned, it's just like 4 simple steps, just like the video call, the electronic payments, and then driver going to pick it up and having it delivered to you. But we go above and beyond when it comes to safety. So we made sure that we incorporated a solid panic button. That's going to be actually a separate app. And right now, with the whole pandemic going on, this is like one of the reasons why I wanted to start it out like as a separate app as well, so that we're always connected with the consumers, whether they want to have something delivered or if they just choose to not utilize our delivery service. We can still be connected with the consumer and keep them safe. So you press the panic button, it's a quick 5-second countdown, and then it releases your information and tracks your phone to the 911 operator dispatch, and it triggers a live video and audio recording so that they can see, the 911 operator can see everything that's going on in the situation, and they can better communicate it with the first responders en route. So this really de-escalates the tension when it comes to police like coming into situations. And also, with that being said, we have it to where once the police or first responders arrive to the scene, they can rewatch and play everything that happened before they even got there. We also incorporated a piece inside this portion of the app for whenever you get pulled over. And when you get pulled over, you can just press the "Hey, or request an attorney." And we have over 200 contracted attorneys right now that have signed up and just willing to help out like when people get pulled over. So you request an attorney. It actually starts like a live audio and video recording, but you'll have like a FaceTime conversation with an attorney. So an attorney's present while you're communicating back and forth with the officer who pulled you over. So it de-escalates the situation, and it makes the communication barriers a lot more streamlined, so that you know that the officer is not like trying to push their power, and it also educates you on like the law. And so it just de-escalates the situations whenever it comes to being pulled over, especially with the unfortunate events that have happened as of recently, and also just throughout the past like few years and decades actually. We just wanted to make sure that we can keep people safe, and even outside the platform. So from getting pulled over to meeting in person, we want to make sure that you're covered. The reason why I started Deliver End is my best friend was robbed at gunpoint selling his iPhone 5 for $70, and he was robbed in broad daylight. There was no reason to do it. I mean, it was just literally $70, and someone pulled out a gun on him for that, which was absolutely ridiculous. So I have like a huge passion for this, and also have a big passion for keeping people safe when they're just like buying and selling on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. So we are going after some IP. We already have a bunch of like patents pending currently, like around our order flow, panic button, and also our routing. And there's a few other line items that we're going after to protect us as we continue to scale and grow the company. Because right now, like Uber just released over 10,000 employees, Lyft just released over 30% of their company, and their trips have decreased by 80%. So their drivers are just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, trying to figure out what to do next. And there's also really good talent out there that help build, scale, and grow Uber and Lyft in these different markets nationwide that we're trying to attract, onboard those guys, and then that'll give us a more nationwide growth model. Because like once we onboard these people from Uber and Lyft, they're fresh from there, so they already know and understand the gig economy. They understand the marketing and how to onboard drivers and their due diligence process, and they also already know the lay of the land in these different markets. So it allows us to onboard them a lot quicker, efficiently, and also allows us to save money because when it comes to recoaching them up and teaching them the way that we work at Deliver In, it's a faster turnover because it's just a gig economy working in that space. So like our pricing model is pretty straightforward. It's $13 for a car pickup, 90 cents per mile, all the way up to box trucks and flatbeds. We give the driver 70%, and we retain 30% of the overall price of the item, and they also retain 100% of the tip. So our rollout strategy from here moving forward is partnering up with these marketplace platforms. So we have been in conversations with Facebook, Let Go. They flew us out to New York, and also over 350 different marketplace platforms that are international and also here domestically within the U.S. And like what we're going to do is start targeting the multi-users, so it's people that flip things on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, because right now with the unemployment rate the way it is, people are turning to the marketplace more to sell their own stuff to make ends meet, and people are also turning to the marketplace to save money. But with that, unfortunately, there's been an increase of like crimes that have happened from that. So we can be able to target these users on these platforms, and then also we can roll out the B2B, like construction deliveries, furniture store deliveries, even flower shops. And we've done deliveries for all these different business models, and it worked out flawlessly. From there, we're looking to continue to grow and scale nationwide, which will allow us to be in a position to white label out some of our technology and software to other parties and license out some of our IP, like our panic button, like being able to integrate with like Uber, Lyft, and even on cell phones. Yeah, and then it'll lead all the way up to our exit or IPO. And from there, we have like a huge market potential. If you look at Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, LetGo, Nextdoor, none of them have like a safe, secure way to transact the items currently, and they don't have a delivery method to transport the items from point A to point B. So the market's wide open for us to take lead on. And with the conversations that we've been having with Facebook, it's been really promising because they're an advertising platform. So even with the marketplace, they say whenever you post an item on there to sell, you're advertising it. So Facebook's not actually selling anything; they're just an advertising platform. And whenever you post on there, you're just advertising like what you like, different things about your day and your life. And with ours, like we can integrate into their platform and just handle the logistics and advertise on there that, hey, Facebook, we can deliver these items from Facebook Marketplace like that you're looking at buying straight to your door without having to give out any of your personal information, like your cell phone number, your email address, your physical address, or meeting someone in person. And because everything's connected through your username. But we have like a huge market potential that we're really looking to take advantage of and take control of. Like some of our competitors, like none of them actually have like what we bring to the table, like the video call verification, location protection, so the buyer and seller never know where each other live, temporary escrow payments so that your financial is secure, and also debt assistance. So like with debt assistance, the debt community has been taken advantage of like from these marketplace transactions because a lot of them don't have a way to communicate back and forth with the consumers whenever they meet up in person, because not that many people know ASL. And my roommate in college, I played football and ran track at Indiana University, Bloomington, and I also double majored there. But my roommate at the time, my freshman year, his name's Deweese Wilson, and his whole family was deaf, but he was the only one that was hearing. And whenever I met them, like that just made me, that inspired me to do something different and learn that foreign language, which is ASL. And it just grew a huge passion on like inside me, where I just wanted to like really place it into our application, where someone is we can just break down that communication barrier, because also with the growth of our company, we're onboarding people to translate these negotiations. And like if it's like a live video, we can have someone on that live video that can communicate and just streamline that dialogue between the buyer and the seller. And I just thought that was really cool. Since January 27th, we've hit over 10,000 downloads, close to over $200,000 or $200,000 in revenues, and we've also have drivers in over 6 different states. Like some of our testimonials, like a lot of people love like what we're doing. We were nominated for best or new tech startup of the year from the Mirror Awards at TechPoint here in Indy. We finished second place in 2018 for best things in Indy through the Indy Star. We've been featured in Afrotech, IBJ, and other news outlets. And our team, they're awesome. Vivian, like everyone on our team is super passionate about this problem, and we're working really hard to make sure that consumers are safe, and everyone here brings something to the table that really helps streamline like the overall flow of our business model, and will allow us to continue to grow and scale. We were very fortunate to have Raul Vijay. He's the head of tech deals and operations at Uber. He actually joined our advisory board, and we have some key mentors. I pitched Gary Vee, and I was also on Gary Vaynerchuk's live this week, which was pretty awesome. And he gives me like different insights It was just like Kenny Tsai. He was former COO at Uber Freight and also former COO at Jump that sold to Uber for over 200 million in less than a year. And he was there earlier at Uber, and he also shared some key insights to allow us to be able to scale and grow pretty rapidly. And hopefully, like, they will potentially join our advisory board. And we're still like in communications like around that. But these two really helped out with different tips and tricks to really get us up and going. And we really want to give back as we continue to grow. So we're going to be donating and creating a scholarship program for the families who's lost a loved one from these marketplace transactions. And also we're doing the free deliveries for charities. So if college towns, like for example at Indiana University Bloomington, when people would move out of their dorms or their apartments and they're graduating, they would literally just set a lot of their clothes and stuff on the side of the road. So what we're doing is we'll be able to pick those up and like clothes, dressers, beds, pick them up and donate them to charities so that they can be reused. And also we're like going to create a fund later on down the road for victims' families, where if someone was using the marketplace and it was just a tragedy occurred, we will be able to donate money to help them keep their lights on, because one, they have to already do enough like with funeral arrangements and everything else, and we're just trying to make sure that we alleviate as much trouble and stress from that situation as possible. One of the other things that we're looking at doing later on is when it comes to food deserts, we want to like as I mentioned, we do some deliveries for construction companies, and we're looking at doing delivery like grocery deliveries and whatnot. So we can come into these food deserts, purchase some land or an old building, remodel it, and we're going to form a 501c3 arm. So it's a nonprofit where the construction companies, we can partner up in these different markets and build out a grocery store. And since we'll be doing food and grocery deliveries, we can have, like, for example, like Meijer or Kroger donate food to the grocery stores, where the people in that community can actually go there and collect food for free. And on the side of it, we're planning on having a greenhouse where we can hold courses for the inner city kids, where each of them will get a plant, and they have to take care of that plant. And that plant, or the seed, whenever they plant it and they water it, nourish it, speak to it, it's them growing a business. And it's just them learning how to take care of things like while growing. And it just shows, like, at the end of the day, you can't like harvest the same day that you plant the seed. And this allows them to understand that on a different level while learning entrepreneurship as well. And that's what we have with Deliverance.
Thank you, Nick. I want to open up the floor to everyone on the call, see if there are any questions. I know as you were presenting, and I hope I'm saying your name right, Charissa. I know it's Charissa or Carissa, but she said this is an excellent tool, especially in today's climate. That was around the time when you were speaking on the panic button. So some good feedback there for you. But are there any questions from anyone on the line? You can unmute yourself. If you're having troubles unmuting, let me know in the chat, and I'll unmute everyone's line. Are there any questions from anyone?
I have a question. This is Kareem from the Untitled Chapter. And my question is, the deliver end, what are the what markets have you launched into, and what's like your process of scaling your software?
I'm sorry? Like, what was the last part? You said the process.
Yeah, like how do you plan on? I mean, first I want to know, what markets you already got into, and like how are you planning to scale your product to different markets?
Oh, okay. So we just rolled out in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're in the surrounding metros, and we're planning on rolling out to because we have like drivers in Cincinnati, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, parts of Michigan, and also parts of Illinois. So as we plan on like our growth strategy from that is like having people that like are close with the community that have already grown Uber and Lyft like in these different markets, onboarding them and start marketing and just create just strategic partnerships within the community and just like advertise and just have like a solid grassroots marketing strategy where we can be in touch like with the community like as we're growing and scaling and form these different partnerships with the mom and pop shops, with the grocery stores, restaurants, furniture stores, where we can still do business deliveries while also helping people on the marketplace. Like, for example, we have been like in discussions with Facebook where we can have like a button on Facebook Marketplace on their buy and sell pages where you can just have a delivery option where you can just press the button, so we're always in front of the consumer. So as we continue to test that out and roll that out and build it, we'll continue to grow like into these different markets, like with the release of the button, so that we can continue to test, scale, and just grow. And with that, we'll have to continue to raise substantial capital. And I know like Facebook just released that they have a $100 million Black Entrepreneur Grant, and they also have a $1 billion investment arm that they're rolling out for Black entrepreneurs. And they just announced this like a few days ago. So with the increase of capital, we'll be able to put more into marketing and growing our team and building. And with a strategic partnership with Facebook or Letgo or Nextdoor, this will allow us to stay in front of the consumer and continue to grow and build our driver support team as well, especially with the decline of trips by Uber and Lyft during this time. This will allow us to execute this and really get going and scale. Does that answer?
Yeah, that answered my question. I have another question, but I guess I'll wait till somebody asks another question.
Okay. Any other questions on the line? Feel free to unmute yourself.
So,
just in case. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, then I really like the competitive advantage your product offers. Where do you see your company in 5 years from now? Right? Are you looking to leverage any type of new technology? How's your company going to stand out 5 years from today?
5 years from today, I believe we'll either have an exit or IPO. We would be like already partnered in scaling with Facebook and other strategic partners here, like in the U.S. and also overseas. We've been in discussions with over 350 different marketplace platforms. So they're based here in the U.S. and also overseas, so that we can really continue to scale and grow strategically. But we, like I see as being a predominant player, there are like a few other different like pieces in our technology that we plan on rolling out later on. But just like as of right now, I can't really like voice them because they're private, but yeah, like that's where I see ourselves in the next 5 years, is being to that point where we are like up to like the well-known like Uber and Lyft.
Okay, we have a question in the chat. This is from Oga. How did you find your team? When you first started, did you pay them or did you offer your team equity to continue to work? Most startups have limited funds, so I'm interested to know your strategy. And then they also asked, how did you find your mentors?
Okay, that's a really good question. So I found my team just through networking and going to these different events. I would just ask people, for example, like with our attorneys, we have 3 different law firms that we work with because not one law firm is good at everything. And I would sit down with different attorneys and just ask them, okay, like what law firm do you go through? Like what, like if you were doing this, like going after IP, who would you use for your attorney? And they would tell me. And I would just make a note on like each person that they would say, and the person that had the most votes, I would reach out to them and just say like, hey, like I've heard from such and such to connect with you over or like building out our IP. And so you get the best attorney while also building those connections along the way. And as far as the team goes, just go to different networking events and talk to people that work at different companies and just ask them like, hey, like, would you be open to doing something on the side? If you are, this is what I'm building. Like, does your beliefs in solving this problem align with mine? And you just have to find people that are super passionate about it, because like whenever you're starting the company, no one's going to love or believe in the company as much as you do, because you're investing everything you possibly can into it, like your no sleeps, your financials, like everything into this, and you just have to be very open and honest with your team, like where you're at as a like in the state of business that you're in, and just to streamline that. And when I did onboard like some of the people from the team, I wanted to control the burn rate. So with the capital that I did have, I was just like, hey, like no one's working full time at first. Like everyone's on full time now, but you can control your burn rate more by saying like, okay, like can you work on this, execute this for like within 4 hours, and I'll pay you X amount of dollars. And then if they get it done within 2 hours or 3 hours, then you can actually add on to what's on their plate. So you can control, and you can always progress forward. And because as you're building it, every single penny matters, and you have to make sure that you utilize everything to, like every dollar you have to make a dollar back or more. Of course, like you're gonna end up like losing money, but like sometimes, but with that you learn along the way. But some of the financial loss is more controlled whenever you can position yourself where you can allocate a certain amount of times to these different individuals, so that they're getting executed not by just one person. It's just across the board. But yeah, like go to these networking events, ask friends, ask family, like if they know someone that's familiar with your space. And it's, of course, like it's fine to give out equity. I gave out like some equity to some of our team already, but that was just like performance based. But we're still like having to pay them. But with everything going on and like in the world today, and so many different Black entrepreneur funds arising out of nowhere, you can just like start reaching out to them. There's a ton of Black grants, like entrepreneur grants out there now that you can apply for. Like there's like even doing like jobs, like different odd jobs, like mowing grass, cutting, like pulling weeds, everything, and just working a normal job and then taking part of your paycheck and allocating some of that to your startup. There's like multiple ways that you can self-fund it and really get going. But once you start raising capital, I mean, it's very difficult to raise capital, but you just have to continue to progress. I mean, you're going to get probably like 1,000 no's before you get that one yes, but once you get that yes, you can really start going. And yeah, and then how did I find my mentors? Like, it's just reaching out to people. LinkedIn is a phenomenal platform where you can connect to anyone. And whenever you send an intro, don't just send like a request. Like send like, hey, I wanted to connect with you regarding that. Like, we're open to adding an advisor to our advisory board, and you have different skills that highlight that will actually benefit our company. I would love to have a conversation with you. And many people, like, that will make them feel good. And it was like, yeah, like, if I can help someone, yeah, sure. Like, let's have a conversation and see where it goes. Because people just love helping. Like, it's, I mean, not everyone, but, like, it just puts you in a position where you can just know that reaching out to someone goes a long way, and just being vulnerable and just open and honest to say, like, hey, like, I really need your help with this. I would love to just have a quick conversation, if you don't mind giving me like 30 minutes of your time. And yeah, like just being open and honest and reaching out to these different individuals and review their LinkedIn first and see like their backstory, like what companies that they work with. Because then if one of their companies that they used to work for could be a potential client of yours, you can just say, hey, can you give me an intro to this company that I'm looking to partner with? Because as entrepreneurs, we have to help each other. We have to grow and build with each other, because it takes a village to build a company, because you can't just build a company on your own. That's why you have to like onboard a team. And we, like, entrepreneurs are more like willing to help others that are trying to help others like along the way. And that's just what I've learned throughout my journey. And when will this platform be available to the general public? It's available right now. You can download it on the app in the App Store. But we're actually about to release our Android application in the next month or so. We're still running a few more tests and building out a few more things on that. And we're going to release our Panic Button app here shortly as well. We're just waiting for like a few more things to clear up regarding like our IP and like just to protect it as we continue to grow and scale. Do you have a website to find these grants, or just search the internet through Google? Yes, like the Facebook just released I can actually, I'll send it over. There's like a website that literally has like the breakdown of each grant and the fund that they're building for Black entrepreneurs. And I also have created a list of firms, VC firms and angel investors who are looking to invest in minority-owned businesses. And I did that because I kept seeing so many like A16Z, like all these different VC firms coming out and saying, hey, this is a Black fund, we have this money allocated to a Black fund. Like they thought that like Black entrepreneurship was new, and we've been doing this like for hundreds of years now, like building and creating phenomenal companies and businesses and products to help better and push the scale forward. But with all these new funds coming out and saying like, hey, we have all this money for Black entrepreneurship, now we as Black entrepreneurs have to reach out and make sure they put their money where their mouth is and write these checks and make sure that it's going to Black entrepreneurs. And we just gotta really just put ourselves out there to make sure that they know that we're here and we're open and we're willing to work with them, but they have to be willing to work with us. And don't shy away whenever you go into these meetings. Like, let them know that you're serious about your craft and you're very passionate about your business. And if they really want to help out, like, the Black community and Black entrepreneurs, then they will sign that check or write that check. They have to be very open about their criteria of investments, and it just has to be linear with their other strategic investments as well. Like, if I go into if a white male goes into a meeting at the same VC that I'm about to go into, I want to make sure that I'm getting asked the same questions that the white entrepreneur was going to get asked. And I was actually in a few meetings where actually I was in a meeting 2 weeks ago where it was a Zoom call, and one of the entrepreneurs in residence was a Black woman and everyone else was white, and she just got upset because she was like, you guys are hammering him with all these questions, but we were just on a call with a white entrepreneur and you barely asked him anything. So it's just speaking up and voicing and just displaying your passion, like, whenever you enter these rooms, so that they know that you're serious and you love what you do. So it's just doing that. Are you available to help others who are just starting? Yeah, I love helping others, and that's a big passion of mine. Like, if anyone has any questions or looking to get in contact with me, I'm happy to connect you with anyone that I possibly can within my network. Just email me. My email is just Nick and at deliverend.com. But I mean, like I mentioned before, it takes a village to build something great, and it's not easy, but it's possible. So we just have to continue to work and build together as a community and as entrepreneurs to continue to strive and build great things.
Okay. Are there any other questions out there? Let me just unmute the line in case anyone is having trouble. Okay. If you don't want to speak, please mute your line. And if you do have a question, you're unmuted at this time. Okay, I'll mute all the lines again. Okay.
This is Sam Nixon. I didn't get the email address that you just gave a few moments ago.
Oh, I just posted it in the chat.
Okay. I'm on the phone line, so I'm trying to see.
No problem. It's Nick, N-I-C-K, Nick.
Oh, okay.
At deliverend.com.
At DELIVER? END?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, .com. Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, are there any other questions on the line? Okay. Well, Nick, any final comments to everyone? Maybe someone looking to get started, or just in general, any last nuggets or pieces of advice you want to give before we wrap up?
Yeah. So, like, if you're getting started and you run into different challenges, or if you feel like you're failing, just know that just because it takes you longer to get somewhere doesn't mean you're failing. It's a journey. It's a marathon. The key is, like, as you continue to grow and you're fighting all these battles and seeing all these troubles. I mean, it's entrepreneurship. This is what you signed up for. You're building something to solve a problem for someone else, and even if it's like for yourself, just know that that you're going to run into a lot of tough times. There's going to be a lot of tough situations that happen, tough conversations that need to happen. But at the end of the day, just don't give up. I mean, I've been working on this for 3 years, and like just now, it's really, really starting to take off. And there's so many other times where I just thought like this wasn't like, oh, I suck at this, I suck at that. But every time I thought that way, I like go read something or I look back at how far like I've come, and we're just make sure that you keep your faith in God, like pray about it, like talk to others. Like if you need someone to talk to, just let me know, and we can put something on the calendar where we can just like figure out what we can do to get you over this hump. We can just we'll work together on making sure that anything and everything is possible for you. It's just challenging times happen, and you just have to persevere through it. If you don't know something, Google it first, and if you still can't find the answer, then you start reaching out. Post questions on LinkedIn and have these open conversations, and people will answer them. They'll be more open and willing to work with you when you admit that you need help. And just be open and honest whenever you have these conversations.
Thank you, Nick. I see John just asked if there a presentation deck being displayed. He's not presenting slides anymore, but he did share slides earlier. So you're not tripping or anything by not seeing slides on your screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Nick, thank you again for sharing with us today. To everyone else, I want to thank you all for joining. A reminder, please go to BDPA2020.org and go check BDPA2020.com and check out the virtual conference. Register. We hope to have you participate in August 20th through the 22nd for the national conference. Look out for the recording to be shared for today if you would like to reference this again. But thank you all for joining. Have a great week. Enjoy your July 4th holiday weekend. Be safe, and we'll talk to you all next time. Thank you.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.